And back with another build study video. Instead of doing a build study of a Roblox builder, I'm actually going to go off of another video game, Valorant. I really want to go for this kind of style and vibe. I want to recreate this sort of scenery. There's two key points I want to hit with this study. First is getting the stylized look with these textures. Like, every texture is not realistic. It looks like it's been painted on. That's one thing I want to try to learn. And another thing I want to achieve is particles. You can see there's so many particles here, like the water going down here, or these little pink things and glowing things around these flowers, or these white little dots. I want to really go over particles within builds, because I've realized looking at Twitter and other people's builds, one key thing to make your builds look really nice and lively is the use of movement. But yeah, we're going to go over this. So those are the two key points I want to hit: the stylized look and textures, and the particles / movement of the scenery. All right, starting with this area, what I'm first gonna do is try to understand how I can get like the simple parts. So like starting out with this block, it has some texture to it. It has like this painterly texture. Let's try to achieve that kind of painterly look. Okay, I'm gonna be using Clip Studio Paint. You can use whatever paint software. I just have Clip Studio Paint, so I'm gonna use it. But anyways, we're gonna try to get this kind of texture. So basically, imagine if this yellow wasn't there, what would you get is what I'm basically going to be doing. Again, the reason I'm doing this is I'm starting out with the simplest thing I can do, which is, again, making a block stylized. So this is a normal block, and they stylize it with these textures. That's what I'm going to be doing. So let's go first make the texture for it, which is what I'm going to be doing here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm honestly going to just start with red color and just try to get this kind of shape. Okay, there's something like that. It's nothing crazy. Let's see if this works. What I'm going to do, get rid of the background so it's transparent, and then make it white. And I'm going to have this as like my base texture for all of my simple blocks like these. Okay, it's been a while since I went into Roblox Studio, and they changed the UI. Oh my god, it's better, but I hate change. I liked how it was before. It is better though. Oh my god, literally Roblox has learned that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I swear to god, they keep changing things. Anyways, let's upload the texture. I don't even know where to go to place the block down. I'm using the plugin FBX instead. Okay, because the FBX plugin doesn't change. Anyways, let's upload the texture. Okay, there you go. Now I'm gonna adjust this so it matches the same block. This thing right here. Again, the white things that I made over here is basically this like dark part. Okay, there you go. I added in a couple more textures. So I realized there's something subtle to it that's kind of this blurry that has this kind of look. So like this was applied onto it is what I'm assuming. But you can see what I mean. This little blurry kind of thing. We're slowly going to get there. Actually, something like this. It's close enough and we're getting there. All right. Anyways, we got that block done. Honestly, I'm going to do the same method for almost everything else. So I don't know what to call this. This is wood. I'm going to do the same method. Just looking at it, trying to replicate it, making it as a texture and putting it on a part within Roblox Studio. So let's repeat that for every other texture here, starting out with this area. Okay, at this point, I'm just doing the bottom part of this wall. I'm using like a square brush just to shape it out, just get the same shape I see in the reference. That's all I'm doing. And I know my last upload was a month ago, and quite honestly, I literally cannot figure out what to upload. Like, I've done a lot of tutorials already. There's like a finite, a limited amount of ideas I can do, but I'll just figure it out as I go. But that's why really I'm taking long to upload, is because I don't know what to upload. But yeah, that's why. But yeah, anyways, over here I'm just going over what I see in the reference, using the square brush a lot. And I'm uploading them into Roblox Studio, and I'm just repeating that. And then after I got these two textures on, at this point I went to bed, because believe it or not, it was like 2 a.m. here. So I went to bed, and that was it for day one. Okay, let's try to make these arches, so these pillars. Since it's like a distinct shape, I'm gonna make it within Blender and then apply textures. All right, from now on, I'm gonna have like the reference of what I'm doing bottom left. So like the picture you see of the bottom left, there's a pillar of what I'm recreating in Blender. Let me know if you guys want like this reference image to be the bottom left or the bottom right or wherever. But I'm going to try to start using that often. Anyways, over here, I moved on to making the rock texture. Right now, I'm just compiling a lot of different assets. So I already made the pillar. Now I'm just going to make the rock. And over here, this part was fun. I made a flower. So I try to replicate the flower from the scenery I'm trying to replicate. And it was pretty fun to do because I've never done foliage like this. Copying and pasting it to match the same flower. Make sure I got the same number of petals. But making the flower was fun, but doing the UV part was really annoying. Like the texturing and UV editing part of it was really annoying to do. I couldn't figure it out, especially this part right here. Like you can see the texture of the petals. It looks like odd. Like it's not like a regular flower. It's like different petals aligned next to each other weirdly, which was complicated and difficult for me to understand to do. But anyways, you can see in the right part of the screen, I got the flower looking great and properly. Now going back to the pillar that I uploaded to Roblox Studio, I tried using the textures I already made with this pillar, and I didn't like it. I didn't like how it turned out, so I just used the same texture from the actual Valorant game instead. Anyways, I did use my textures for the actual bottom part of the pillar, but the top part of the pillar I just copied from the video game. At this point, I already compiled enough assets for me to start building a Roblox Studio. You can see again with the ref I said bottom left I'm going to have, and let me know if you guys like that. I hope you guys do like that, because now you can see what I'm looking at while I'm building, which is very, very useful. And again, if you don't want it to be bottom left, tell me if you like bottom right better or not. But yeah, now I'm just going on with the build. Some of the textures I just took from the actual video game itself, because I'm just one person. It's going to take me a while to replicate every single texture by myself. So yeah, I just took it from the video game itself, like screenshotted it. That's what I mean by taking it. But anyways, I've been starting to try doing voiceovers for speed builds and whatnot. One of my speed builds, I didn't really like my voiceover because like I got really tired because I just finished the build and then I had to do the voiceover right after, and I didn't like that. I was like already tired enough. I didn't want to be doing a voiceover for my previous voiceover video, or it might have been a couple previous voiceover videos. I don't know which one. That's why it was bad, that previous voiceover video. I'm hoping this one's a little better. I don't know, but this time I'm actually trying to plan out what I'm going to say and taking a break in between building and doing the voiceover. So I'm hoping my voiceover for this one sounds better, but I'll get better as I go. Also, I know people do like stories within their voiceovers, but guess what? I don't really have any stories. I don't know, or maybe I'll think of something when the time comes for another voiceover. But for now, I can't think of any stories right now. I'm sorry. I'll just do more explaining my thought process and what I'm thinking of my build instead of stories, I guess. I don't know. That'll be more my focus instead. But yeah, anyways, over here I'm doing this like this. I don't know what this is, like a tiny waterfall. I don't know what the point of this even is for like the actual video game. I don't know why they have this tiny waterfall. But anyways, now I'm doing unions, which I really don't recommend using unions because they're laggy. I got lazy and just did it anyways. But if this was for like an actual commission, I would be making like this curve and such in Blender and not using unions. But yeah, don't use unions. I just got lazy and did them anyways. Because again, this is just a build study, just for my YouTube video, not for an actual commission work, so it's okay. Anytime you see me building and you're wondering what am I doing, just look at the reference at the bottom left, and that's just what I'm copying. In addition to like the reference itself, I'm also going within the Valorant video game and moving around and looking around to copy it better. I didn't record that part of me going within Valorant and moving around. Because my computer was already lagging enough, or not lagging, just really low in memory. Like my computer has so low memory, it couldn't handle recording OBS, having Roblox Studio open, having Valorant open, and maybe even having Clip Studio open as well. I had like all those programs, and up top of that, again, me recording. It couldn't handle any of that, so I couldn't show every single thing. So within this entire session of recording, I crashed like multiple times. But luckily there's autosave, so autosave helped me there with the crashes. At this point, all I want to do is just get the shapes done or get all of the objects placed down, and then I'll fix the lighting later. So I just want to copy every single thing down as fast as I can, honestly, and then fix it later. That's all I'm thinking about right now as I'm building. Just copy it, get it done, and fix later. The color scheme of this is really interesting because it's just yellow, beige kind of color, and then there's some vibrant yellows in the middle over here, and then there's like these small vibrant colors of pinks and greens that really make the entire build stand out. Now, at this point, I'm copying the shadows. So if you look at the references, this part right here, lower part, is all in shadow. So I got a random part to like block out and have a shadow. Here you can see that I'm using the same texture I made at the beginning to apply on this regular block, so it doesn't look so plain and boring. And I think that's what really helps sell that it's like a stylized, painterly look, which is what I'm achieving for with this build study. At the end of this build, let me guys know in the comments if the end product looks like it's been painted. Like I want it to look kind of like it's been painted on. I don't know how to explain it more, but I just wanted to make it not look like it's in Roblox Studio, but maybe more of a painting. Is that what I'm trying to say? Let me know if I did achieve that in the comments after looking at the final product. But honestly, building is not that difficult as long as you have a reference. Just have lots of practice to the point where you understand everything easily within Roblox Studio, and then when you're at that point, just copy off of a reference, and then you're going to subconsciously learn and understand the fundamentals, I guess, within building. But to be fair, I don't think I personally actually did that. Like starting out building and then just copying off of references. I didn't really do that. I guess what I did was just keep building over and over and over until it just got better, because I've been building for like years now. So I can't really necessarily remember what I did to improve, but I know looking at a reference does really help out. I'm just saying, look at reference if you need any help. But for me personally, I didn't really look at reference because I either just didn't think to or even want to really. But again, I just kept building over and over and over, and I got better because of it. And that's quite honestly what I'm doing right here as a build study, just copying off of something I found interesting. And then with that, I can improve my own building skills. Honestly, I'm really proud about how the flowers turn out. Like, they look really similar to the original video game of Valorant. Like, it actually looked like it was in Valorant, which is pretty cool. I really like how they turned out. You can see now it's really coming together. Like, everything looks similar, pretty much similar to the Valorant game. I just have to go over the lighting really. See, over here I'm going over the lighting, try to figure it out. Later on I reset the lighting and go back to the default lighting and then fix up the lighting later. So right now the lighting is pretty meh. I'll fix it up. But now I'm doing this, like this back part of the build, because if there were no structure at the back here, it'd just be really boring looking. Probably why Valorant made it so the build look like this as well, where they have like some structure at the back. I'm not copying it one-to-one. I'm just getting it something similar enough to where I'm happy with it. At this, like, if you look at that, if you look at what I just made and look at the reference, it doesn't look identical, which I was aware of. I just said, who cares? I'll just get something similar. It doesn't even look bad anyways, so it's fine. At this part especially, look at the reference. You can see the shadows are like orangish and reddish, and then the parts that are not in shadow are blue. And I really like that, because that is like similar to another build study I did. I forgot the study name, but the Aerophagia build study I did, they had the exact same like premise where the shadows were orange and the not shadow parts were in blue. So I wanted to replicate that again here, which I'll eventually do later. But that's really cool looking, and I really like that kind of look that I'll be doing later on, I guess. Adding in the flowers, I mean, look at it again. They look pretty good. They look like, again, identical to the Valorant ones. And then here, just copying off of the reference, you can see the left side of the screen or the references, and then me just replicating it, trying to match it as best as I can. I think they turned out pretty well. Quite honestly, it turned out pretty well. But right now, it's like the lighting. It's very orangey. Like, everything looks very orangey right now. So I should definitely reset the lighting settings. Now here, I resetted the lighting and put it back to the default lighting settings because I didn't like it earlier. Okay, and now at this point, I'm just finding the shadows, getting in the cool looking shadow, or well, I'm putting the flowers down first. And then after I do that, I go back and add in the shadows. And then I get back to making textures. Over here, this is for like there's like moss blending in with the rocks. So I just made that over here. And it turned out pretty good. It looks like it's blending in really nicely. And then I did the same with the sand parts because I already had the moss part done. This is just adding dirt so that you can see the reference again, bottom left. Just adding in the dirt texture. And this is what I really want to try to learn from this build study, is making these subtle details by like textures. Like, instead of building them, do it through texture. Like, I went through Clip Studio Paint, painted in that dirt, and then I put it on Roblox Studio. I want to learn doing that more. Anyways, I'm going back to the lighting, and I did a little bit of it. And now I'm going back to the shadows, trying to find like a cool shadow shape. And then I'm going, after I get the shadows on, then I add in lighting, so like light parts, which is I feel like the light parts really made me feel like, oh, I got it. Now it looks really good. I'm happy now after I added these like light parts in. You can see I'm slowly adding them in. And I'll like turn off the light parts and put them back on so you can see the difference. But like, they're off and then on. You can see the difference that made. It just made it look so much more vibrant and lively. At that part of the build, I was like, oh, I'm happy now. I actually really like this build now, and I really want to finish it now. So I'm glad it turned out nicely. Then I made the shadows harsher so it looked more cinematic. Also, I did a little mining off camera and added in some custom lighting because it's just like a secret thing that I do. Anyways, now going back to this part where I said the shadows were in red, I'm doing that now. So I'm adding in like a red texture to the bottom part of the parts, so it looks like the shadows are in orange, which turned out great. Now I'm going back to the rocks. So I imported what I had in Roblox Studio and recovered it in a rock shape within Blender. And then I try to use like hard edges to get that rough look or that hard edge look, so it looks rocky. It's not just all the same like blob. It's all just rocky looking with these hard edges, which is what I was trying to go for. And it turned out fine. And then I added a new structure just using project, I forgot what it's called, like project from view through that. And then there you go. Now it looks pretty good. Honestly, I could have made that. I could have got the same effect using the terrain editor, but I decided I'll just make it harder for myself and just do it within Blender instead. Anyways, I added in the bushes in. I don't know how I didn't record in me adding in those bushes, but whatever. Now for the fun part. Now actually adding in the waterfall texture. This is kind of fun to paint because at first I didn't know what to do. But I just looked at the reference and I just thought to myself, what can I draw from it? What can I try to copy from it? And over here, I try to make it seamless. And anyways, I just tried to replicate it. Okay, let's now upload it, the texture, onto a light beam. Come on, load. Oh, it actually looks pretty cool so far. I just have to edit it now, make it so they're both the same width. Yeah, that looks like waterfall. And then I need to make it so it moves. Does this not have the option? Yeah, right here, the texture speed. There you go. That looks like waterfall. Look at that. There you go. Now let's put it in the build. Yeah, I'm glad with how the water turned out. Honestly, at first I didn't expect it to turn out correctly or fine, but it did. It looked right. When making the waterfall texture, basically when I look at the reference, I realized, like, I don't know how to explain it well, but basically it gets lighter and then darker, and then that just repeated over and over. That's what I did. But anyways, after that, that was pretty much it. All I had to do next is maybe add water at the bottom, because the waterfall is landing on like a big pool of water. So over here I'm adding the water texture, and that was honestly it. There's nothing much to add except for this one last thing that I didn't realize. This cool looking moving effect within the flowers. I didn't record me painting it, but it was basically just a swirly line. That's all I'm doing. And then I put them within a light beam similar to the waterfall. And then I added these firefly particles, which are easy to do. I've done them before. And then lastly, I forgot this last part. I added in these water textures against the wall, because then it shows like the water is reflecting onto the surrounding areas. And that was it. Let's see how they turned out. And that is it. If you found this video entertaining and you learned something from it, then please consider subscribing, or at least leave a like. And let me know in the comments if I did get that painterly look or stylized look, and if I did enough movement, because those were the two key points I wanted to hit within this build study video. But anyways, again, thanks for watching, and goodbye.